morning to Talk Sport right here on Dominion Television. Welcome to another journey in the world of sport. This wonderful morning, I will be looking at the local stories making the rounds in the world of sport from the MPFL rescheduled game. Also, we'll be looking at the camp of the Flying Eagles ahead of their clash against the big guns, the Argentines of Argentina today in Chile. Also, we'll be taking a dive into the camp of the Super Eagles ahead of the big one against Lesotho and Benin Republic. Also, Cristiano Ronaldo is in the news this wonderful morning, and also one man from FC Barcelona, and also playing is straight in the MLS. I'm talking about Jordi Alba of Inter Miami has said goodbye to football. All this and more on Dominion Sport this wonderful morning. I am Paul Abe Toruwanimi, and I have the expert analyst himself, Samson Balogun. Good morning to you, Samson.
Top of the morning to you, Tolu Anemi. It's really nice to be back here again to talk sport. As you said, the Alba Celeste will be hosting the under 20 team from Nigeria today, and it's going to be a cracker. And most definitely, we'll be talking about the rescheduled MPFL games. I mean, there's a lot to unpack, and definitely sit back, relax, and as we bring you sports at its best.
And I like it when something is, trying to roll his hand. It looks like it's going to be feisty. All right, I have Fola Yegbe also in the studio this wonderful morning. Fola, good morning to you.
Good morning to you. Good morning to you too. What is it called in the world of football? The people we've always loved, the people we've looked up to are going. Oh my goodness, I'm sad. It's a very sad. Well, but you have to let in the new generation. But the greats are going.
I agree. Just after 13 days after Sergio Busquets made, his remark of saying goodbye to football, his friend also and colleague, Jordi Alba, also saying goodbye to football at the age of 35. All this and more is going to happen on the show. But let's take a dive into the local story this wonderful morning from the MPFL, the rescheduled game, where we're going to have on the screen already Kano Pillars. There you have it. Rangers International are going to welcome Abia Warriors. It's going to be Kano Pillars against Kwara United, and trust me, each team on the rescheduled game match the 6. For Rangers International and Abia Warriors, it's going to be rescheduled for match day 5. For Kano Pillars and Kwara United, it's going to be rescheduled for match day 6. And trust me, one team that need all points in this game for me. I don't know why I'm looking at Kano Pillars need the victory the most. But Samson Balogun and Fola, let's start off with Rangers International and Abia Warriors. How do you see this game, pan out for both teams, Rangers Internationals and also Abia Warriors? Samson.
Well, over the weekend, Abia Warriors, they did the unthinkable. I think they went to Kwara and got all 3 points, which ultimately ended, the reign of Coach Babatunde Soni as the coach of Kwara United. And they are raring to go right now. They have the morale booster, went away from home, got all 3 points, and they will be thinking they can also repeat that against Rangers International. That's a rescheduled game that should have been played before now. But one thing I know for sure is that Rangers, they have this resistance. Every time you think, they are going down, there's always something that brings them back up there. And, last season they didn't really do too well. But then, this season they have shown flashes of brilliance. They are not the best team in the league this season, but most definitely they are not the worst. So they are somewhere in between. And one of the reasons they are where they are right now is because they have outstanding games. But if they can pull this off, defeat Abia Warriors, that's just like Shooting Stars and some other teams, takes them, straight to the top 5 or the top 6 on the log. But then, if you look at the situation of things right now, it's really a very tight one for them, a very tight one. And it's going to be keenly contested. Abia Warriors are very good on the break. They have, some tall players in their ranks. So that makes it difficult for Rangers International. But then, if it's about area balls, I think Abia Warriors, they are stronger. But if you are to place the ball on the ground, Rangers International will have to do it. So if Rangers don't allow Abia Warriors to force them to play their own game, then it's going to be easy right for Rangers. But then if they are forced by Abia Warriors to put the ball up there, then it's going to be a tricky test.
All right. Also, is the Kano Pillars against Kwara United, and it's going to be a big one. Now, before I allow Fola in on the analysis for Kano Pillars and Kwara United, if we look at the Warriors, Abia Warriors would have to be at their best against Rangers side that are gradually growing into the campaign after a stuttering start of the season. And also, you look at Warriors with the start of the game in the 3rd place, and a win would help them leapfrog their city rivals, Eyimba, into 2nd place. you know, but that can only be altered by yes, Fidelis Ilechukwu. We have not seen so much from his side this season. Something is that a worry, or is it because, you know, I think his main concentration is the camp of the Super Eagles?
Yes, it could be so, but then I don't want to believe that, you know. Well, you know, the attention span and, of course, concentration span for an average human being, you know, it differs. It depends on who is involved. It might be that he doesn't have the capacity to, you know, multitask and do two things at the same time. So,
and maybe the assistant is not even capable.
Yeah, that's the point. You know, we saw what happened when Daniel Ogumodede was not around.
Yeah.
You know, they had a little bit of issues. You know, I think they lost one, drew one, so it wasn't that good. He came back, and you saw what happened in their rescheduled game. So when the coach of the team is basically around, you know, the players respect him more. But for the assistant, they think, oh, it's just another person coming on board to, you know, take charge of the game. But if you look at Fidelis Ilechukwu is arguably one of the best coaches you will find in the MPFL. You know, I so much admire his style of play. I like his charisma on the sidelines. You know, it's the way he passes instruction across to his players. I mean, that's top notch. But this season he has been a little bit shaky. They started on the wrong foot. Just like you said earlier, and I mentioned, you know, the other time, they are gradually getting back into what we know them to be. Rangers will always compete. Oftentimes they play on the continent. So, so far, I said earlier that they are definitely not the best team so far in the league, but they are not the worst. So if they can pull it off against Abia Warriors, therefore that cements their place as one of the best teams in the league right now. And you know, there are some things that could have actually been up there, but because of the rescheduled games, you know, rescheduled games don't always work like it would work on a good day when you play, you know, when other teams are playing.
Yeah, I agree.
Take for example, some teams are well rested than the others, and some will have to travel. For Rangers, they are playing at home, so that gives them an edge over Abia Warriors. But for Abia Warriors, they are traveling. But they are going there on the back of a victory away to Kwara United. So that's they have two different motivations. So they are going to meet at the middle, most definitely. But I think Rangers International, for the fact that they are gradually getting back their momentum, for the fact that they are playing at home, they are more rested than Abia Warriors. So that should do it for them in the game.
For Kano Pillars, they go into this fixture with Kwara United in bottom place though, and they have been outstanding matches. As Musa Gida have managed just 1 win in 5, 1 win, 1 draw, and 3 losses, picking up just 4 points in 5 matches. Kwara United have not done any better as they have taken 8 points from 18. However, the Ammonin boys now under interim coach Afshat Suleiman are unbeaten in the last 3 head-to-head MPFL meetings with Kano Pillars. Just 2 wins and 1 loss. But Kwara United are yet to score on the road this season. Evans again side expected to throw everything at Kwara United as they seek to climb out of the bottom place ahead of their weekend match against the Shooting Stars Football Club. Both midweek fixtures will be on the menu today. That's what we're talking about. Kano Pillars against Kwara United. Now let's talk about Kano Pillars. Looking at their poor form this season, I'm sure this must be big test for them to see how they can get back. And also, you look at Kwara United, you know, having technical issues with their manager. But for you, Fola, how do you see, you know, Kano Pillars ahead of this game against Kwara United?
Well, this is going to be a very technical game because, what's it called? Both teams, they are not at their best. Let's put it that way. So, but let's not underestimate Kano Pillars. You know, Kano Pillars, over the years, we said it yesterday, that Kano Pillars in the MPFL, you cannot underestimate Kano Pillars. They are the, should I say, the godfathers that you can never get, you cannot get Kano Pillars out of the MPFL. That's my opinion. So, for this match, Kwara United is having issues with their coach. And the team might not be
in
so
good
for
shape.
me. For you,
you're giving it to Kano Pillars.
I'm giving it to Kano Pillars actually. I'm giving it to Kano Pillars.
So I'm going to ask something quickly. How do you see this one pan out? You know, what needs to change? You know, for this team Kano Pillars, because currently they're at the bottom of the table. It looks like a struggle for them this season. You know, is it the experienced players? Do they need to come to play? The likes of Rabiu Ali, you know, Ahmed Musa, do they need to come to the team to play right now? What needs to change? You know, for Kano Pillars going into this game and also the season for them?
You see, one of the challenges they have had to face this season is, the structure of the team has changed a little bit. The way they play, has changed a little bit to accommodate some players. But unfortunately, it doesn't last long, and the coach really has to rethink. There was a point we were talking about Shooting Stars when they were also faltering, they were having issues. We said, oh, should the coach revert to what the team was doing before he came on board? And then we eventually settled for, oh, if he keeps doing it and then the team gets it right, it will be to the gain of the team. And that's what we saw, three wins on the bounce. So it has actually, helped the team. So sometimes same is happening to Manchester United. The coach has a clear ideology, a philosophy. He doesn't want to change it, he wants to stick with it. Yeah, so sometimes coaches believe in their ideology. It's like you telling Jose Mourinho to change what he knows and then say, oh, do something different because your team is not performing. You would rather leave the team or you kick him out. So that's what he will do. So there are coaches who stick strictly to their ideology, regardless of what anyone has to say. And I think that's exactly what is going on at Kano Pillars. And the players understand that, especially the chairman of the team, who is also a player in that team. So they understand what the coach is bringing to the table. They trust his ideologies, otherwise would have been booted out a long time ago. In fact, probably the first 2 games of the season will be out through the window. So they know what exactly they want to do. They are sticking to it. They see this as a project. That's the difference. Sometimes you want quick results, sometimes you want a project. So at Kano Pillars right now, Ahmed Musa is a widely traveled player. He has been to Russia, he has been to the English Premier League, he played in, I think, Saudi Arabia at the point. So he knows, he's been there. He's been to where they want immediate results. He's been to where they want a project. So he knows exactly what he wants to do. And when he came on board as the chairman, he made mention of some things that there'll be a lot of shake-ups, restructuring, and maybe that's part of the restructuring they were talking about. Yes, we might not get it right as you would want it to be, but then as time goes on, we'll get into it and then you'll see results. Now, for Kano Pillars, there's a lot at stake. They want to, at the Sani Abacha Stadium, people are getting tired. When you are not winning games, especially in Africa, nobody is that loyal to keep coming to the stadium, especially when it costs them money. When it costs them money. Yeah, true. I'll cite an instance. The first 2 games Shooting Stars played this season, they had about over 8,000 fans who came in that paid. After that, it dropped to 5,000, dropped to around 6,000 and like. So the figures kept dropping.
And I heard the ticket price reduced.
Reduced at a point. So now, you are now seeing that it affects the fans. Nobody wants to come. Let me cite an instance. For me as a person, if I'm going to the stadium to watch Shooting Stars as a fan, it costs me, at least I'll buy the minimum ticket of 2,000 naira, which is A1, A2. Now, it will cost me around 2,500 to 3,000 naira to go to the stadium and come back conveniently. Now, that's about 5,000 naira. 5,000 naira for me is enough for me to relax on a weekend.
I agree.
So if I go to the stadium and the team loses, the team is losing, I blame myself.
Back to back.
Yes, that's not because I am not passionate, but because I'm already thinking like a Nigerian. It costs me money. Whatever costs money and still gives me pain, I don't want to be a part of it.
I agree.
Now, that's how an average Nigerian would think. We saw what happened over the weekend at the stadium. Yes, on a good day when the governor is coming, there's usually large turnout. But that's not as much as we saw at the beginning of the season when even the governor was not there.
True. I had to look at the stats.
So the figure
I had to figure it out. Yeah, true.
Exactly the same thing will be happening right now with Kano Pillars. The figure must have dropped. They see this and they understand what this means for the team, especially financially. Because when you think about the business aspect of the game, you really want to win games. You really want to get results. And that's the issue. Because for some team right now, it might be really okay for them to start losing games and nobody cares because the state government will definitely bring the money.
Yeah, true.
They are not thinking about the business. But for teams like Ikorodu City, for example, for Remo Stars, they rely heavily. Yes, the chairman is rich, but then he has to balance the book. So they rely heavily on what the team brings in. Sponsorship, gatekeepings, and the like. So that's the business. So they understand all of this. Right. So for Kano Pillars, it is already affecting the business part. Yes, RFI is there, the money has been dropped, they are picking from it, but then when the money drains up, there's a problem.
There's a problem.
There's a problem. So let's now see what Kano Pillars has to do differently. Going into this game, I think players like Rabiu Ali, Ahmed Musa, they have to step up, especially in the goalkeeping department. They have been shipping in goals, and then sometimes you see the cheap goals they are shipping in, and then you begin to fear for them what exactly will happen when you play a a really big team that is merciless in front of goal. So it's a challenge for them. And then if you look at Kwara United too, they are under fire.
Yeah.
They have a lot on their plate right now. The coach just left. There is someone in charge.
Yeah.
Usually, when the coach steps in to bring a change to the team, it doesn't really start as immediate as people think.
I agree.
Because he has to imprint his own philosophy and ideology on that team, which takes time. You know, give or take around 2, 3, 4, 5 games. Look at Ang Postecoglou at
Nottingham Forest
right now. He has lost how many games?
7 games.
So in the last 6 games, he has been in trouble. He has either lost or drawn, no victory yet, and it's not even in sight. So exactly the same thing when you change a coach. So Kwara United, they will have that challenge. Technically, a new coach is coming about, might likely bring in fresh set of players who are not even part of the starting 11 before. True. So between these two teams, there's a challenge for them, and it's Kano Pillars has the upper hand, because from Ilorin down to Kano will take you roughly around 1.5 days.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, if you go on a smooth sail, but if you are stopping, and that will take you around 2 days. So meaning that Kwara United players must be tired when they get there. They might not likely, train that much. They will just have light trainings and then go to play the next day. So that will mean that fatigue will be in place. So Kano Pillars has the upper hand. If all the players at Kano Pillars step up, then they might
just get the game. Okay. For you watching us right now, what are your predictions ahead of the big game between Kwara United and Kano Pillars? And also remember, Rangers International, they're also going to welcome Abia Warriors. Let's move on and take more stories still on the local front. Nigeria's powerlifters depart for 11th World Championship in Cairo. Excitement in the building as Team Nigeria powerlifting contingent jetted out of the country on Tuesday, October the 7th, for the 11th World Powerlifting Championship scheduled to hold in Cairo, Egypt, from the 9th of October to the 18th. The edition of the World Championship is historic, as it's going to be the first ever hosted in African soil, a major milestone that marks a new chapter for sport in the continent. The first batch of the Nigeria athletes departed on Tuesday to loud cheers and encouragement from officials, fans, and supporters. The remaining members of the team expected to leave Lagos on Wednesday, the 8th of October, completing the full delegation for the prestigious global event. Ahead of this departure, team officials expressed optimism about Nigeria's prospect, stressing that the athletes' readiness to maintain the nation's proud record as dominant force in powerlifting. The National Sport Commission NSC has reaffirmed its full backing for contingents and restating that the government's commitment to fostering and also supporting excellence across all disciplines. There you have it. I think if there's one thing that has given us joy also when it comes to sport, I think it's the athletes and also powerlifting team. Fantastic job. Something quickly, they're about to jet out already to Cairo. First team already out, the next team already moving. I'm sure it's going to be victory for us.
Yeah, most definitely. Nigeria will definitely come back with some medals. If there is any sport in Nigeria, that usually give Nigeria almost a certainty when it comes to winning a medal. I think powerlifting is part of it. In fact, let me say powerlifting generally. But sometimes they are usually available for trainings. They are usually dedicated to what they do. There's no distraction. This is what they do for a living.
This is what they use
most
to
times,
feed.
Yes, most times when they are called upon, they are always there.
Available,
so I give kudos to that team. They've been there a long time. They don't disappoint.
I agree.
I'm quite sure that at least 2 medals will come.
Yeah.
True.
I'm quite sure of
Very
that.
sure.
Even at the Olympics, they always coming out.
They usually represent. And I mean, I think if there's anything Nigeria has gotten right, not in terms of administration, but in terms of getting results.
This is one other area. You want to get you right. All right, and let's move away from that, and we hope for the very best for the team right there in Cairo. And Cairo here to bring up medals back to back for us. Let's move away from that and let's take more stories. The Nigeria Football Federation, the NFF, has announced that its president, Ibrahim Musa Gusau, has been appointed to the FIFA Men's Club Competition Committee. In addition, a former NFF president and FIFA Council member, Amaju Pinnick, has been named the deputy chairman. Something, it looks like we're still having the men's in power in FIFA. And, you know, how does this foster and give us a more edge when it comes to Nigerian sports? For you, Fola, I'm going to start with something just shortly. You know, Amaju Pinnick and also the NFF president still in the board of FIFA. How does it give us an edge as Nigeria when it comes to some certain decisions right there with FIFA?
You see, usually it would have been a thing of joy that we have Nigerian representatives on the board, you know, getting appointments with FIFA. You know, Nigerians should be happy that it will favor them, especially when it comes to decision making on that table. But unfortunately, you know, there are usually, you know, misrepresentation sometimes. You could remember the case of Sonny Lulu, Mujobi, and the likes, you know. At the points they were accused of bribery, and so it's you know, it weakens someone when you know that you know, Nigerians will always be Nigerians whenever they get to. So I just want to implore them to be good ambassadors, and of course put Nigeria at heart. It's not just about money to be made. It's about what am I bringing back to the table when I'm coming back home. I mean, they should be good ambassadors and good representatives.
Right. Fola, for you quickly, there you have it. You know, like something that said, what do you think they need to do also, you know, to put us in the good map when it comes to global sports in the world?
Well, they should this time around they should think of, okay, I should represent my country properly, because what's it called, every time we always have this issue of misrepresentation.
I agree.
Every time. Let's not say sometimes, every time, because even the ones that did not take bribe, at the end of the day we'll hear that, okay, maybe somebody said this and he had already said something this way. At the end of the day, another person went to meet him behind and say, okay, you have to do it this way, and somebody threatened him and he accepted. So they have to think of representing my country properly this time around. Beautiful. So yes, it's something of joy that yes, they are on the board, but still they need to represent.
All right. We hope that Amaju Pinnick and also the NFF president, you know, would represent Nigeria and put us back on the global stage when it comes to decision making right there for Nigeria. Let's take more stories. This is coming through from Ekiti State. The new look of the renovated Oluyemi Kayode Stadium in Ado Ekiti. The stadium is expected to host Ekiti United FC in the NNL, Nigeria Men's Second Division League, and also Ekiti Queens FC in Nigeria Women's Premiership for 2025-2026 season. The renovation is yet to be completed, but it is almost done. And I think kudos to you know, the government of Ekiti State. There you have it, something Fola. It's looking like a new dawn again. We hope to see you know, Ekiti United and also Ekiti Queens. Something faces wondering, okay, where are we at this point in time? But I think it's a good step, you know, in order for Ekiti. You know, what's the way forward for them after this and also back into the NNL?
You see, it's, well, I would say it's a wonderful development by the Ekiti State government, you know, to renovate the Oluyemi Kayode Stadium. I mean, it's really a great development. Unfortunately, most times, which we have seen in other places too, you know, huge amount of money is earmarked for a certain project, and then you see the work done on that particular project, and you are like, you are sorry for the country. You feel really disappointed. You know, I can assure you that even by the time millions or billions of naira is spent on this pitch, you will still get there to be an amateur pitch. That's what you will find. That's because that's the biggest they can do. That's the farthest they can go, and that's really challenging. And sometimes when some things are achieved, you see that maintenance culture is not there. In the next 1 year, they are already doing church crusades, they are doing asalatu, they are doing whatever it is. They are doing party congresses on that same pitch. So, why did you have to spend so much money when you are coming back to destroy it by yourself? So I think we have to wake up. There was a time, I think that was over the week, I saw a clip of, I think that was the Onikan Stadium in Lagos, and then I saw multitude of people in that particular pitch. They were having, you know, a particular concert. And I was like, look, yes, it is being done in some other countries too. Pitches are used for concerts, but then when they are used for concerts, the main bowl, the pitch is avoided for a reason, because they don't want you to destroy. No matter the amount of money you are paid, that would never be enough to renovate the pitch. So and then when you bring people into a stadium and they are not controlled, by the time they leave, you realize there's always 1 or 2 things to fix because they are not controlled. So I am glad that this is being done, but unfortunately, I'm not a pessimist, but I can tell you for a fact that you can go there yourself when this revelation is done.
Yeah, no, I think I know if one person will go there, I think Fola should represent.
Yeah, that's our home state.
It's our home state. Yeah, true. I was excited. Yeah, so we're going to ask you, Fola. Now, this is your state, and you look excited about it. Just like something I said, how do you see this? Bringing new hope again to Ekiti people, and also to enjoy good football.
I'm excited, yes, but at the end of the day, like Samson said, we need to have this maintenance culture.
Yeah,
this maintenance culture has to be imbibed in us because at the end of the day, yes, when they repair the stadium and when they start using the stadium,
how do you maintain?
How do you maintain it? How do you imbibe in those people that you bring into the stadium? If at the end of the day you want to have a concert at the stadium, how will you maintain the peak?
Oh, so already you know that there's going to be a concert already.
No. See,
okay, cool.
I'm not
being I chose not to say the other thing.
Which
is the fact that when state governors when they do things sometimes usually you are afraid for the country. Okay, take for example, look at that pitch. The initials of the governor has already been printed. That's Bao. That's the governor's name. I mean, that's not your personal property.
I was about speaking about it. I was about speaking about it.
So now, because you are the governor, you have
he's the one that renovated.
You have a public fund, which is not your personal money, to renovate a stadium, and then you made it look like it's your own. I mean, that's totally unacceptable. And I think whoever knows Governor Bao should tell him that this. I mean, if you did this in the year 1966 or 1980s or maybe 1990s,
you can get away with it.
So he will probably be right, but this is 2025. I mean, we should have moved beyond this politics of, politics of stamping. Let me put my stamp on it.
I did it.
I mean, someone built the stadium.
Exactly.
And that person did not leave his own name on the stadium. So why put your own initials on the seat?
I'm sure our videos are always going across the world, and I'm sure this video is going to get to Ekiti State, and Fola, would be a force, to getting this video down to Ekiti State for us. But, big congratulations to people of Ekiti State, and we hope that very best that Ekiti United and also
Ekiti needs more stadiums.
Yes, they need that.
One is not enough.
No.
But something. Honestly speaking, if we're about to talk about Ekiti State right now, we're going to spend the whole day, because you asked, my question is going to be how much has been allocated to Ekiti State. That's the question. Honestly speaking, Samson, okay, so let me just come out now. I'm also from Ekiti, so
my brother.
Interestingly, I think it is me against you guys. But the truth
of the matter, right now, Samson, you know the truth already.
The truth is not about something. See,
aside from being a sport analyst, I know you. So I know you have other onions in this thing. So come on.
Let me basically very quickly, just 10 seconds or 20. One thing people have failed to do so far for their governors, their local government chairman, members of House of Assembly, House of Representatives, is because they fail to ask questions. Since the removal of fuel subsidy, most states get about 500% increase on their allocation. People are not asking this question.
Okay.
So they still reason like, oh, that's what they used to get. Oh, Ekiti is a civil servant state. Oh, there are no investments in Ekiti. But these governors are raking in money. Now, aside from that, the local government allocations are not being given to local government chairman. They are most times given stipends and peanuts to work with. These monies, the bulk of the money, about 90% of it, go to the state government. What are they doing with these monies? That's the elephant project should be said.
Elephant project.
All right. I'm not going to allow something get into that suit this morning. Let's bring him back to sport, because trust me, once they start rolling out the start for you and fast checking, trust me, we're going to spend the whole day here. But congratulations once again to the people of Ekiti State. Congratulations to you for that.
To you, my brother.
All right, let's take one story right now. We're going straight to basketball, where the Nigeria senior women's basketball team, the Tigers, have been handed a tough challenge following the draw for the 2026 FIBA Women's World Cup qualifying tournament. Conducted on Tuesday. A total of 24 teams were drawn into 4 groups of 6, and the Tigers found themselves placed in Group Group B, alongside, that's the quarter group, but it's going to be Group B alongside Colombia, the Philippines, Germany, Korea, and the host France, a group widely regarded as one of the toughest in the qualifiers. The Group B will take place in Lyon, region France, from the March 11 to 17, 2026, where the Nigerian ladies will battle for a place at the prestigious World Cup. The Tigers, the current women's Afrobasket champions, will be looking to maintain their dominant form on the continent and translate it onto the global stage as they aim to secure the 4th consecutive World Cup appearance. With teams ranked nations like France and Germany in their group, the Nigerian side will be needing to bring their best performance to stand a strong chance of qualifications. Fola, let's start off with you. Big one for the Tigers. Can they qualify from this group and also get a place right there in the World Cup?
Well, let's be optimistic. But what is it called? When I saw this yesterday, when I was looking at the list and I was looking at your
group,
oh my God, I was already sweating. Like, oh my goodness. Well, but let's be optimistic because let's not underestimate our team too. The Tigers are a very, very strong team.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially with the coach.
Yes.
Yeah, fantastic coach.
Yes, yes.
You see,
I'm
really bullish about their chances in that quarter. You know, they have huge chance of qualification, and you know, the reason I'm saying that is because you know, you can liken the current Tigers team to the Belgian national team that paraded the likes of Eden Hazard, Charlie, Romelu Lukaku, Kevin De Bruyne, Gian Vertonghen at the time. You know, that was their golden generation. Or you can liken that to the Brazilian national team of where the likes of Cafu, the likes of De Lima, Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, Kaká at the point, you know, where they had their golden generation too. That's what I see now with Coach Reina Wakama in charge. I mean, that brings you, you know, I don't think at any point in history have we had this set of players, and of course they have created a team. So this is their chance to show the world what they are capable of doing. And I know for sure that these players are ready. They are super ready. You saw what they did at the Afrobasket. They know exactly what they wanted. You know, sometimes you don't get the kind of results you want, but you make an impression, and people know exactly what you are capable of. Oh, she was just unlucky. Actually, he was just.
But they showed that even from the Olympics.
That's the point. So this time around, I think this is their chance to do it, because by the time this is done, I don't think too many of them will come back for the next FIBA World Cup. So, which is going to be a really dicey one. So they have to make a statement at this time, and that's why I think that they are already mentally.
All right, let's see how far you know, the Tigers can go with Reina Wakama and a team putting in a good shift ahead of this big one. But trust us, we'll be giving you the update back to back about the situation of the Tigers. Let's take more. It's still the women football. Flamingos to face Paraguay and New Zealand in friendlies. Nigerian Flamingos will face New Zealand and Paraguay in friendlies ahead of 2025 FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup. The West Africans will fly out to New Zealand on the first friendly on Friday, the 10th of October, at Bankole Olowokere side will do battle with Paraguay in the second friendly 4 days later. The Flamingos will move to FIFA Hotel in Rabat after the friendly with Paraguay, and the players and the officials are expected to travel to Morocco for the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup on Wednesday. They will depart Abuja via Royal Air Maroc in the morning. Nigeria will face Canada, France, and Samoa in Group D. The Flamingos will open their campaign against Canada on Sunday on the 19th of October. There you have the group already. And we're going to be listening to a player speak ahead of the game at the World Cup against Canada, and it's going to be Queen Joseph ready to represent Nigeria. We're going to listen to her. When we're back, we're going to be discussing about the preparations ahead of this one. I will move straight to the camp of the Super Eagles.
My name is Boniface Elizabeth. I'm a goalkeeper and I'm from Benue State.
When did you first fall in love with football?
In school.
What does wearing the Flamingo jersey mean to you?
Well, I feel excited. I'm happy to be among the Flamingos, and I'm really grateful for the opportunity.
As a team, what do you believe the Flamingos can achieve at this tournament in Morocco?
By the special grace of God, I know I and my teammates, we have worked hard, we have trained hard for this competition, and by the help of God, I know we can do better in this competition and go far in the competition.
By far, what does that mean?
By far, like we are going above, like last set, they stop at the quarterfinal, but this set, we want to go more than this.
All right, yes, there you have it. She's speaking, the goalkeeper Elizabeth, speaking ahead of that one against Canada and also preparations for the World Cup. And she's saying, you know, their aim is to go further than, you know, what they had in the quarterfinals. Something for you. Come on, the ladies are prepared already. You look at, you know, their campaign, where they are at this point in time, the friendly games they've had, you know, how prepared are the team, you know, ahead of this one quickly.
You see, they have had a series of test games, and they still have a few more to go before the tournament. That's to keep them in shape, you know, play friendlies that will seem like you are simulating, a World Cup game. So that's why you play top-notch teams when you are preparing for a tournament, just to put you in shape and, of course, in the mood for competitive games. So. Right now, Bankole Oluokere has done a wonderful job, you know, assembling a team of young and talented players. And that's what Nigeria is always known for. You know, when it comes to, except the selection process is tampered with, we usually present, you know, the best set of players. You could remember the 17 team of Coach Yemi Tell at that point. You know, there is always, you know, always.
Anytime you mention that name, I'm always excited.
So you would always, that was a no-nonsense coach that would not allow you. You won't impose a player on him. Otherwise, you just take your job. That's what he does. So we need to have coaches too with earth in Nigeria, aside from Yemi Tell. We need some coaches with earth, with self-determination. Don't force anything on me. Let me do my job as I want to succeed. So, and I think Bankole maybe falls in that category at this time. And I'm really bullish about their chances of getting past the quarter-final stage, which is the benchmark set by the last set of players. So let's just give them the support they need. And I feel like they stand a chance.
Fola, you as a lady, how do you see the girls preparing for this one in the World Cup quickly?
Well, for me, I'm excited for them. I'm actually optimistic for them. I've been using this word throughout, the optimistic. I'm very optimistic today because of our teams that we've mentioned today. But for our our female flamingos.
The flamingos.
I'm actually optimistic for them. I'm actually hoping for the best from them because they're every time around we bring up the new ones. The new generations are the ones that always impress us. So we always have hope that the big team, the main teams are going to actually impress us at the end of the day. But
it is what it is, all right. Let's move away from that. Let's take stories from the camp of the Super Eagles. We have the players in camp already. We have William Troost Ekong, Victor Sime, Ademola Lukman. We have Christian Uche. We have Wilfred Indidi, Bruno Yemechi, Tolu Aroko Dare, Stanley Wambali. We have Amas Obazoge. We have Terry Murphy. We have Moses Simon, Calvin Bassey, Alex Iwobi, Samuel Chukwueze, Frank Onyeka, Samia Ajayi, Adebayo Adeleye, and Benjamin Frederick already in the camp of the Super Eagles. Yes, you're also going to see videos of the players already preparing ahead of that one. They had a light training yesterday at 6 p.m. and also you see them, on the screen, and also the players already in camp ahead of this one. Samson Balogun, let's start off with the preparations ahead of Lesotho. Are the players ready? And, is it up to the coach now or up to the players to get the job done?
I mean, it's not just about the coach. This is a collective responsibility, even for the fans too. Nigerians in South Africa should come out in their numbers to support this team. It's football is not just a one-man game. It's a team game, and coaches also have inputs, and the fans also have their responsibilities, just like the management too. Just be ready for the emoluments that belongs to the player. Give it to them on time. This is not the time to revolt. Sometimes when you have important matches, the players have to be in the right frame of mind. But I want to tell the players, so even if the management is not doing the right thing at this time, have it in mind that you have to be patriotic first. Do the job first and then complain later. That's what the goal should be. Put Nigeria ahead of every other things you think matter to you at this time. So I feel like They are super ready. They know what is at stake. Majority of them have never been to a World Cup. Not, I mean,
agree.
The only set of, even Victor Osimhen, the biggest player in the team as we speak, has never played at a World Cup. How much more of Tolu Arokodare, who just joined the Super Eagles? Or, you know, it's a challenge to them. It's a chance for every one of them to showcase their talent out there. Don't forget that the World Cup here is always the time when some players get the biggest move of most of their career.
I agree. That's key.
When you are at the World Cup, you get to show your talent, and then that's when some of these players get the biggest transfer. So this is the time for them to do. You can imagine a Victor Osimhen playing at a World Cup, and you say Chelsea will be saying no because he's stubborn, because he's this, because he's that. They know what he's capable of doing. He has done it on the world stage. What else do you need? You need no proof anymore. Just sign the check and then let the player come. So I think one of the reasons he has not been able to secure the dream transfer he would be looking for is because he has not gotten the chance to showcase his talent on the world scene.
Yes.
And I think this is the time for him. He has, about 3 or 4 more years of active football at the top level. I'm saying at the top level, he still has about 3 or 4 more years. And if he plays at the World Cup, the next World Cup, that gives him that edge to seal the dream move he so much craves for. And you can see in him that he's still a very young player. Just like some other players, even Adebayo Adebayo, who still plays in the Eastern Europe. I mean, he still has a chance of playing quality football out there. So they should try as much as possible to get the results.
Right.
Regardless of what the challenges are, they might even take you to a rugby pitch to play. Just go and play, get us the maximum. I mean, when they played against South Africa, I think in Polokwane, they played on a very tough pitch. But eventually, if not because of the own goal by Trustekon, we probably would have come home with all the 3 points. So let's just put in all the effort. I mean, give it your all, do what you are capable of doing, and do more, do extra. That's what Nigerians need. And then there should be no selfishness on the pitch. It's not your responsibility. You are not the only player that can score goals. If you are not in the better position to score, give the ball to the person who can just stroll in and pass the ball into the net. So it should be a collective responsibility. Play together, win together, and then celebrate together.
All right, let's see how far that one can go because of our time. Let's take stories from the Flying Eagles camp ahead of the big clash today. Right there in Chile. It's going to be a big one and a must-win victory, for the Flying Eagles of Nigeria. Trust me, the last time out they played, we talked about it yesterday, was in this same stage. The Argentines also, qualified as the best team from their group. We had issues also the last time out in 2023, qualifying as the 3rd-ranked team, but we're able to defeat them. These are pictures, from the last time out that we had against Argentina right there. You see some players still in the team, Daniel Agada, that Bameyi, there are the pictures. The last time out we faced Argentina. Fola, can we do it again today by 8 p.m. and what must be done quickly?
Yes, we can do it again. Yes, we can. In fact, I want us to do it. So yes, we can. But what's it called? We should not underestimate Argentina, who is at their best right now.
I agree.
And Nigeria, we saw how they did in the group stage. They were not very impressive. I
agree.
But we should not underestimate them. Yes, they can.
They can.
They will. In fact, they will.
They will.
Let me be a patriotic Nigerian.
They will. Afola's giving victory to the Flying Eagles. Something for you. What must be done. Just what must just be done. I know if you were given the opportunity to coach this team and you have the chance today, looking at what has happened in the group stage, what must be done to get the victory?
I think two players really have to wake up in this game, and that's the captain, Daniel Bameyi. He has to be really up and doing, especially defensively. Yes, he's a very good player, but his height has been a problem for him at this tournament. But then I want to talk about Parobo Arieri too. The number 9 for the team. He's not getting the goals, and that's because they have not been the team generally have not been clinical enough. Against Saudi Arabia, they did the woodwork twice. Against Colombia, they did that 3 times. That's 5 goals. If they were clinical, that would have been 5 additional goals for them.
I agree.
So they cannot afford to make those mistakes again against Argentina. They won't have too many chances.
Eating the bar is not 3 points. It's not goals.
It has to be in the net. And you are not going to get enough chances against Argentina.
I agree.
Meaning that if you have clear-cut chances and you are not converting, how much more of you have chances? So this is the time for them to be so clinical that they will convert half chances. So if they can do that against Argentina, I think they are going to walk away winners in this game. But if they cannot convert their chances, I'm sorry, I'm not a pessimist, but then it's time to book their flight.
So quick one, your predictions quickly?
I think Nigeria will win by 1-0, or maybe 2-1.
2-1. Follow for you quickly.
Yeah. 1-0.
1-0. All right. If you're watching us, drop your predictions in the comment section, and trust us. If you're correct, you stand a chance to win something on the show. The prediction is the Flying Eagles against Argentina by 8:30 p.m. That's all we can take on the show this wonderful morning. But let me just drop this: Cristiano Ronaldo honored by FPF for Portugal's Nations League triumph. Something is not looking ending for Cristiano Ronaldo at 40 years of age. Fantastic, man. And he said, I'm sure you're tired of me already, winning, trophies like this or individual awards like this, but I'm still going to be here for a long time. Yeah. And so maybe 1 or 2 years, something. And this man is saying one of the most major target for him is going to be the World Cup. Yeah. So quick one, something. Cristiano Ronaldo, I will sign out.
Yes, he's that kind of player that is physically built. He has, the strength to do it.
He says something about he says something about his routine.
And the funny thing is, he's the kind of player you would have expected to have relaxed, but then he keeps improving over and over again, and his body still permits him to do what he knows how to do at 40. So basically, you might just say that you will see Ronaldo playing to 43, 44, 45, because he has a goal, he has a challenge in front of him. He wants to score 1,000 career goals, professional goals, and he's moving closer and closer. He's almost there. He has less than 40 goals or thereabout to get to. So you would understand where he's coming from. He wants to set a landmark. Lionel Messi has more Ballon d'Or trophies. But then what would Ronaldo be remembered for?
I agree.
That would be 1,000 goals. So that's exactly what he's trying to do.
All right, that's all on the show. And also, like we said, Jordi Alba says goodbye to football after the MLS season with Inter Miami. Fantastic player. And also, I'm going to say big thank you to the crew and also the producer. Thank you so much for always being part of the show. Also, big thank you to the expert analyst himself, Samson Balogun, also Fola Egbe for joining the show.
Glad to be here.
Always. Tomorrw is going to be an exciting time to join us because we'll be celebrating the victory of the Flying Eagles against Argentina. Trust us, you want to be a part of the show because it's going to be celebration gala, food, drinks. It's going to be on the show if we win, if we win. And I hope that the video that Samson Balogun made for Ekiti State is going to get through to Ekiti State government by Fola Egbe. That's all we can have on the show. I've got fastest qualify for now.